Here's the second part to Chapter 7-2 videos, and this one we're going to prove similarity between two triangles. Now, in our previous lesson, we just looked at two basic examples, and you've seen something like that before in your Math A class and possibly in your algebra class. But here we're going to take some geometry definitions and prove that this triangle right here, PQR, is similar to PST, the much bigger triangle. Now, again, two things have to be proven to prove similarity. One, the angles have to be congruent. They have to be identical. And two, the sides have to be proportional. They have to be similar. So we have to go ahead and start proving this out. Well, we are given this, parallel lines. So we know that this is parallel to that. What do we know about parallel lines? Well, given a transversal, here's our transversal here, and we have another one over here. Let's do one at a time. This transversal SP, given parallel lines, transversals form corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are congruent. So this angle is congruent to that one. This is a different transversal, same parallel lines, and again, given parallel lines, corresponding angles are congruent. So here we go. These two angles are congruent. Given the third angle theorem, any two triangles here are congruent to corresponding two angles here. I mean, two angles corresponding to these two angles. The third angle, therefore, has to be congruent to the third angle. Well, this is also congruent to itself. So, since this angle is shared by both triangles. So we have the angles. Angles are good. Now we need to look at the sides. This feels like a similar relationship, because we're seeing patterns, and our patterns tell intuition, hey, we can figure this out. For instance, let's take a look at this small triangle. Let me see if I can pull that out for you. A little tricky with this. There we go. Here's the small triangle. And this side is 3. This side is 5. And this side is 4. Okay? And we want to prove it to the big triangle. Now, the big triangle, this side is 8. And this side is 6. Do you see it? 6, 8, and 10. So we set up a proportional statement. Well, I'm going to do this side, 3 is to 6, as 4 is to 8, okay, as 5 is to 10. Guess what? Each one of these boils down to 1 over 2. Every one of these is an equivalent ratio that gives us proportional. That proves that the sides are proportional. Now this last part, write a paragraph proof. Well, we didn't really need to do that. I talked you through it. But a paragraph proof is nothing more than just writing down what's in our head. We started off with parallel lines. We've proved corresponding angles are congruent. We got our angle right up here that's congruent to itself, or third angle, however you want to look at it. And then we set up proportional sides. We proved proportionality. That means that yes, PQR is similar to PST. This is a good problem to study. I want you to go on a blank sheet of paper and redo this on yourself and look at this. Because on the next chapter, we're going to get into some really interesting triangle stuff. And there's a whole lot of definitions there, a whole lot of things that can trick you up on this. This is a very good start for Chapter 7.3 and 7.4.